Rachna, will you be doing? Good evening, everybody. Yes, today is our special webinar on the occasion of National Sports Day, which is usually celebrated on 29th of August. Now, this day marks the birth anniversary of hockey legend Major Dhyan Chand, who is also called as the Wizard of Hockey. The day honors his immense contribution to Indian sports and embraces the nation, or rather inspires the nation to embrace fitness and discipline through games. Today's esteemed speaker is Dr. Kinjal Patel, who is not only a MD homeopath, but she is a fitness expert. She's a sports enthusiast and she has won several awards in the field of sports also. She is going to speak on the role of homeopathy in sports with special emphasis of sports in a woman's life. To tell you a bit about Dr. Kinjal Patel, she is a BHMS gold medalist, MD homeopathy, LLB, diploma in yoga, associate professor in Arihant Homeopathic Medical College Research Institute, private practitioner in South Bhopal, Ahmedabad. She has won several awards. She is a national level swimmer with multiple medal holder, open water sea swimmer with multiple podium finish. She is an accomplished triathlete and half iron distance winner, a national level cyclist, gold medalist, West Zone Khelo India, ultra cyclist, super randonneur, 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers, 400 kilometers, and 600 kilometers. She's the bicycle mayor of Ahmedabad. She's also a half marathoner and 10 kilometers distance runner with multiple podiums. She has played more than 100 plus competitions with multiple podiums in swimming, cycling, running, and still counting. So over to you, Dr. Kinjal. Please begin.
Thank you, Dr. Alka. I'm grateful to the Iconic Women Homeopath platform for inviting me for the expert session on today's topic. I extend my heartfelt thank to President Madam, Vice President Madam, and mentors of the group. Shall we begin with today's session? So it's a very interesting topic. Before I begin my session, I just wanted to share in short the conversation which I held with Dr. Rachna maybe 6 weeks back while she was in my institute and we were just having conversation. Why don't you present something since sports day is coming in end of August? I said that sounds good idea, but you talk something and you present something, both are different entity and you have to prepare a lot when you are giving something in very concise form. So that is what I had spared my Sunday today to meet and connect with you all with some special purpose, that is role of homeopathy in sports injuries, which by now every physician knows who are practicing homeopathy, but the special emphasis on importance of sports in women's life is my connect with you all women who are going to attend this webinar. So let's start with the first topic, that is sports injuries, which is happening in the field of sports and how to handle this with homeopathy. So it is no doubt about that it is considered as one of the very best sports medicine for treating the sports injuries, not only like sprains, strains, cuts and abrasions and muscle weaknesses, but it also addresses the mental aspects of an athlete who needs attention at some point of time. So those athletes who are looking for, to get their mind ready for the fierce competitions, those who are feeling low in confidence, eventually those who are encountering extremes of training, homeopathic medicine comes handily to support them quickly without any troublesome side effects. Now, we all are somewhere handling sports injuries with prescribing homeopathic medicine. But before we begin, I think it is important to throw some light on what is sports injuries exactly mean. So sports injuries are the injuries that occurs when engaging in any sports or exercise. And it occurs maybe due to overtraining, lack of conditioning, improper form, technique, maybe due to failing in warm up excess, or maybe which increases the risk of sports injury. Bruise, strains, sprains, cuts, tears, broken bones can result from sports injury. These are the extremes of examples. Soft tissues like muscles, ligaments, tendons, fascia, bursa, this may be affected. And traumatic brain injury is also considered sometimes happening in the sports injury, especially in the contact sports and extremes of sports. And these are the different types of sports injuries, may range from mild, moderate to severe. So, what exactly sports medicine means? It has been defined as the scope of medical practices which focus on prevention, diagnosis, treatment, rehabilitation of injuries that occurs during physical activity. And that is not only restricted to during physical activity, but it can also apply with same domain after physical activity. Sometimes athlete may not encounter sports injury while they are actually in the game or playing or training, but that can also, the pain can appear afterwards when they are resting. And when we understand sports medicine, it's just handling sports injuries by different ways and pathis. It's not just that, but it is also promotion and implementation of regular physical activity in the prevention, treatment, and different diseases of chronic diseases of lifestyle. So let's see what are the sports injury types. So injuries can be classified broadly in three groups. Acute extrinsic injuries, self-explanatory it is, which arises from direct external blow. These are commonly wounds, bruise, means there is some external force present which will produce injury, which is acute in nature. Acute intrinsic external injuries, which results from failure of a patient's structure as a result of excessive loading. Example, rupture of tendon, avulsion, fracture, ligament injury. So here, due to weakness of the muscle or imbalance, or maybe there is a misalignment of the axis which results in the injury. That's why it is considered as acute intrinsic injuries. And chronic injuries, now, these are those with insidious or unknown onset, commonly inflammation or failure secondary to repetitive loading. Examples are inflammation of Achilles tendon, stress fractures. This happens over a period of days and weeks and months when some of the attention which should be given, if it is not given by a person who is training or exercising, this can result in chronic injuries. So, what are the basic etiologies behind such sports injuries? We know that when athlete is playing on the ground, they are bound to have some injuries, but there are certain criterias which defines, and they are the causes of sports injuries. Lack of proper method of training, extremely poor training methods. These are the most common cause of sports injuries. Increasing the intensity of exercise very quickly, not stopping at the time of pain causing the injuries. It is always that body is great and it always gives signal, but sometimes athlete fail to consider those signals and they keep on continuing the activity which they are engaged in, and that results in sports injuries. So it is very important to listen to your body signals. Injury at the time of game, especially in the sports that involves body contact sports like rugby, football, boxing, wrestling, and injury might occur while playing tennis, cricket, badminton. These are the name to few them. Structural abnormalities in the players or athletes are also an important cause for the sports injuries. There are many who have such arrangement of bones and muscles which make them vulnerable to be injured. Like I just said, abnormal axis in the body, poor muscular balance, weakness of muscles. This will reflect when they actually start training without addressing those particular weaknesses. That can result into sports injuries. Some of those conditions are uneven length of the legs, flat feet, excess pronation, extra high arches, cavus foot, knock knees, lumbar lordosis, patella alta, and high Q angle. These are present by birth. You can't change it, but you can definitely train in a certain manner so that this will not come as a blocking factor or may not act as a triggering factor to invite sports injuries. And sports injuries can also caused by weakness of muscle, ligament, and tendons, as I said earlier. So If even the exercise environment is not safe, sports injury might occur. So, what are the risk factors for the sports injuries? It has been observed that now, if we talk about epidemiology, prevalence of sports injury is more common in adolescent player and athletes as compared to adult one. But that sentence is not true, because those who are pursuing sports in later age of the life group, like they have settled their careers and then they are practicing sports, and if they are not watchful regarding all the domains they should make perfect, then they can also end up with sports injuries. But because generally it is considered and it is observed that mass of the players belong to youth age group, that is below 20, so that's why they are more highlighted and they are more taken into statistical data. As per the studies conducted over the last 16 years in United States, especially in collegiate athletes in different 15 sports, it is revealed that lower limb injuries percentage was more than 50, with ankle and knee very commonly involved. Most of the injuries were contact injuries, were more occurred during competition as compared to training, because competition is something where athlete forgets everything and they just give their best, and that is when they encounter such sports injuries. Out of 15 sports, most common injuries were happening in football and wrestling, which is very aggressive sports, which ranks second. The increasing popularity of games like football, hockey, kabaddi, which are very popular in India, is contributing to enhancement of percentage of sports injuries in this our country. And studies have revealed that there is no significant decrease in sports injury over the past 2 decades of time. Knee injuries have been observed in study of 5 years in India in 24 different sports, where the rate of injury is higher during competition as compared to training. Here it is also revealed that non-contact injury was more common, where the saucer and kabaddi injuries are two of the most common and prevalent ones. So let's see now, since we have understood what are the contact sports and what are how the injury triggers in and what are the common body parts affected. So what are the different systems irrespective of the body parts affected, irrespective of the sports in general. So most common sports injuries include ankle sprain, bruises, groin strain, hamstring strain, knee joint injuries, and stress fracture. These are the common injuries which are encountered. Now, it is very important to understand, as we all know, what is the difference between sprain and what is the difference between strain. So, sprain is something which happens when there is overextension or tearing in the ligament. And ankle sprain is the most, ankle is the commonest joint where the ligaments are overtaxed and they result in tear. It can be mild, moderate, or severe, or ranging from grade 1 to grade 5. So that is sprain. Versus strain, that means it's overextension of muscle or tendon. The lower back and hamstring muscles in the back of our thigh are the commonest example of strains. So it is very important to understand the difference between sprain and strain. Some of the more common sports injuries are, other than which we have seen, are concussion, that is mild reversible brain injury from the blow to the head, which may result in unconsciousness, temporary unconsciousness, and symptoms of dizziness, headache, and short-term memory loss, or maybe nausea and vomiting. Cuts and abrasion, as I have already described. Dehydration is also considered as a precursor of sports injury, like muscle cramps. Dehydration is the gateway to invite muscle cramps in the athlete who is pursuing the training or in the competition mode. And dental damage is one of the example. Another, other than dehydration, suppose if somebody is having blow on the jaw, which commonly happens in wrestling, that will make the break of tooth, or it may completely dislodge the tooth. And nose injury, that is either blood in the through nose or broken nose, they are caused by direct blow, that is the result of contact sports. So what are the general management of sports injuries? So first aid for the sprain, strain, and joint injuries are, so there are certain do's and don'ts. Immediate measures for sprain, strain joint to prevent further damage includes the classic protocol, that is rest, ice, compression, and elevation, that is RICE. So these are very important guidelines and one must follow if a patient is coming to you and if by chance the same day patient is coming, these are the four domain which must be advised and followed to the patient apart from giving homeopathic medicine. If patient is of subacute in nature, then all the four criteria may not be applicable, but yes, definitely, if not first two criteria, third, fourth, or first criteria, depending on the part involved, are applicable. So first aid guidelines, there are certain don'ts. So there should, if the whenever athlete suffer from injury, there should not be application of heat. So there are certain guidelines which defines don'ts. So no heat, no alcohol consumption because that will enhance bleeding and swelling. No running. The patient should not be encouraged to be in mobility. No running because that will enhance further blood flow and it will delay the healing. No massage. Massage will again increase swelling and bleeding. And first aid for especially nosebleed. Stop the activity which was going on. Sit with head leaning forward. Pinch nostrils together, breathe through the mouth, hold nose for at least 10 minutes. If bleeding continues post 30 minutes, sick to the hospital and medical aid. First aid for dislodged tooth are also given criteria. There are this happens generally in wrestling and judos and martial arts. So eventually you will be surprised to know even the tooth which has been dislodged, it is possible to fix the tooth which has been knocked out in the contact sports. Rinse the tooth in water or milk and see the dentist immediately, and there are bright chances that the tooth can be restored. Emergency situation, you have to always call an ambulance for prolonged loss of consciousness, neck or spine injuries, broken bones, injuries to the head, face and eye injuries, and abdominal injuries, and maybe ENT bleeding which is prolonged post 30 minutes, ear, nose and throat. So these are the signs of emergency and you should not wait to send the patient in the trauma center. Prevention of sports injury. Now, since we are treating the patients for sports injury, most of the time patient comes are having injury subacute in nature or chronic in nature because it is seldom possible that patient who has suffered acute injury will come to your clinic. So whenever patient is coming, you must check the background of how it happened, what was the causation, and how many days or week have been passed since the patient is suffering. And then you also check whether patient has followed the prevention of sports injuries or not. So if not followed, then you can always have something to counsel and advise that further, if eventually you have cured and set the patient symptom free, pain free, then there are certain guidelines which must be addressed, that is ways to reduce sports injuries. So warm up has a great role. If proper warm up is not followed, there are inevitable chances to invite sport injuries. Appropriate footwear, tape or strap. There are kinesio tapes available. If there is some muscle weakness which is commonly resurfacing and appeared, then that type of athlete should be encouraged to do kinesio taping. That is K taping, which is very handy and help which prevents overstraining of that particular muscle which is weak and also protects the joint. Use of appropriate safety equipment like mouth guards, helmets, pads for skaters, and knee pads and elbow pads and everything. Hydration and nutrition during training and pre-race day. Now it is very important to keep hydrated well and have proper nutrition during training, and also sometimes athlete is following the guidelines of hydration and nutrition throughout the training, but say for example if somebody is appearing for the national games or international, they are representing country and they are traveling, and it may happen that their hydration is not up to the mark, which is very crucial window. 48 hours is very crucial window before race day that you have to keep up to the mark hydration and nutrition. You have to drink plenty of water and electrolytes. If they are not, these requirement are not meet, the training and that will make patient an athlete vulnerable for the sports injuries. So it is very important. And supplements. Now, role of supplement is very pivotal in preventing sports injuries, like vitamin D3, B12, magnesium, zinc. These are the supplements. Those, because see, the body of athlete is very much demanding. It's not a normal body which everybody else are following normal. Say, for example, somebody is going for a walk. They may not be in need of extra vitamin D3 and B12 like the athlete is in need of, because their body is very much demanding and they are giving lot of strain, and training is taxing their body a lot, so they are in extra need of supplements. So if D3, B12, magnesium and zinc is not restored and not optimum level, if it is not balanced, then definitely such patient will such athlete will end up with sports injuries. So it is a preventive step to maintain the serum normal level of all these supplements. And of course, diet and nutrition, that high protein diet always help in repairing the muscles which has undergone micro tear and due to training. So that is, these are the guidelines you must check in your patient if you have any athlete patient who is coming to your clinic. So these are the preventive steps you must check in the history whether they have followed, and if they have not followed, when you are saying goodbye to the patient after cure, you must make this advices to the patient. Maintain good level of overall fitness, particularly off the season in the months when patient is not between playing the sport. Cross training, other sports to ensure overall fitness and muscle strength. Now, these are also part of prevention. It is very important if the athlete is playing one particular sports off season. Cross training is very important so that it will de-engage the muscle which is been constantly utilized in that particular sport, and it will get some good recovery in the off season. Ensure training includes appropriate speed impact work so muscle are capable of the demand on the day of game, in the day of situation of the game. So you have to ask your athlete that whether they are training in a proper protocols or not. So if they are failing to do that, then definitely they will end up with sports injuries. Don't exert beyond the level of fitness. Gradually increase the intensity and duration of training. Use good form and technique. Now, form and technique are very much important. If there is any fault in the technique and form, it is bound to give a sports injury. Cool down after sports is very important. So these all are the criteria: sustained stretches, static stretchings, allow adequate recovery time between the sessions. These are important criteria for the prevention of sports injuries. Then regular medical checkups to check the blood serum levels of D3, B12, zinc, magnesium. Zinc, magnesium, we don't need to check blood serum level, but definitely yes, D3 and B12. And calcium scoring is required if the athlete is above 40, which observes the score of calcium deposits in coronary artery. Sometimes what happens if the patient is athlete and he is 40 plus, 45 plus, 50 years of age of athlete, and they are pursuing the sports recreational point of view, and they understand that, oh, okay, I am following this sport, so I am healthy and I am not going to have any problems and any issues of cardiac event. But eventually one fine day they collapse. We are listening this every now and then that people are collapsing on treadmill, people are collapsing somewhere in the field. So what all these things suggest that they are having a sudden cardiac arrest, and the reason for cardiac arrest can be n number of, but one of the major contributing factor for such sudden cardiac arrest is strong calcium deposits in the arteries which has went uninvestigated. So it is very important if the athlete is senior, and if they are having some symptoms or even there is no symptom, ideally one should go for calcium scoring to know the deposits of calcium, because those are the plaques which are not going to be dislodged, but eventually if they will dislodge, it will produce catastrophe, and that will come without any warrant. So these are the ways. Now let's see the homeopathic part. Am I audible clearly, Halka ma'am?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
doctor.
yes, doctor,
Ma'am,
you
you
are
are
very
audible.
fine.
Yes.
Please
Okay.
continue.
Okay. So now let's see what are the homeopathic management of sports injuries. So, as we all know, it is one of the best alternative way of medicine for the treating sports injuries, and it offers completely natural treatment without any side effects on the body that may affect the performance, which usually happens in other different supplements and therapies where it always intervenes with the health of the person who is having some goals to achieve something. But homeopathy is such a innocent way and therapy, I would say, for the athletes. It never interfere with any of the physiological parameters, but whatever it will do is only good for the athlete. So that is how it holds a lot of value when treating sports injuries and athlete with homeopathic medicine. Homeopathy provide effective and rapid healing and promotes natural healing of the injuries. Using homeopathic medicine for sports injury at the right time allows staying away from undergoing surgeries, which are inevitable in case of serious injuries that progress over a time. The use of homeopathic dosage and frequency makes the overall treatment procedure even better. And apart from oral doses, the use of sometimes external homeopathic ointment, which are very much indicated on ground during patient athlete has collapsed or having cramps, the skin to breathe easily and speeding up the process of curing. So, as we all know, the Brahmastra in every homeopath's clinic, I would say, is arnica when it comes to muscle soreness, and it is the most used common medicine for sprain, knocks, bruises, falls, which basically plays role of a painkiller. And it is a remedy of first importance in all kinds of injuries, whether it is traumatic or bruised or even non-sports injury eventually, because sports injury, because we are discussing right now particular domain of sports injuries, but any injuries, arnica is the leading remedy, and it is mostly suited to the cases when any injury, however remote, it seemed to have caused the present trouble. So remote effects of current complaints, that is the indicated medicine. And second best for the cuts and abrasions, that is calendula, and we all know it is the excellent hemostat, which promotes healthy granulation tissues, and it will prevent suppuration of the wound. So that is best of the medicine. Restox, ailments from strains and overlifting, hot painful swelling of the joints, tearing and ligaments and fascias, better by motion, soreness of condyles and bones. The cold, fresh air is not tolerated, and the skin becomes painful, numbness, and sometimes even cellulitis and formications after overwork and exposure, tenderness about knee joint. Ledum pal is one another important medicine for easy spraining of ankles, puncture wounds produced by sharp pointed instruments or bites, particularly if wounded parts are cold. Natrum sulf is another indicated medicine, especially I was talking about concussion. If is resulting any number or any of the cause, but it happens in sports as well. So head injury, natrum sulf is the leading remedy. Effects of falls and injuries to the head, mental troubles arising thereafter, change of mood, change of behavior, and patient aggravates from change in posture. Symphytum, that is an important remedy which has action on osteum and periosteum and bones. It is considered to be orthopedic specific medicine, homeopathic orthopedic medicine, I would rather say, as we all know. It is great use in wounds and penetrating to perineum and bones and non-union of fractures. It facilitates union of fracture bones by favoring production of callus and healthy granulation tissues. So I would say here syndesmosis, that is union of broken bone surfaces. So the normal time of syndesmosis is roughly around 6 weeks. And if eventually patient is put on symphytum in low dose, of course, 6 or 30, that will enhance and fasten the healthy union of the bones. And sometimes orthopedic surgeons are surprised that they have given at least minimum 8 weeks, 6 weeks, and in the follow-up X-ray they see there is a lot more better healing and union of the bones, and that is because the credit goes to symphytum. It appears within 4 to 5 weeks, though for the safety they keep the bandages on and cast on for the protocol. So pain in the eye after blow of an obtuse body or a blow to the eye socket. Symphytum is the remedy. I remember always while I was studying in my college, since then I remember that Dil Chahta Hai. There is one scene where one of the actor is been blown thoroughly, Amir Khan, on the eye by his friend. So that is the indication of symphytum. So symphytum, we usually think only for the suffering of the bones and fractures and things, but that is also bruises around the thin bone eye socket. That is the medicine. For traumatic injuries to the eye, no remedy equals symphytum. Ranunculus bulbus, various kinds of pains and soreness, as if bruised on sternum, ribs, intercostal space, which is very common in contact sports, especially wrestling. Muscular pain along with lower margin of shoulder blade, burning in small sport, sedentary employment, worse open air, motion, contact, atmospheric changes, wet stormy weather. These are the common modalities though, but it is used thoroughly in sports when the symptoms agree. Ruta, complaints from straining flexure tendons, especially tendency to formation of deposits in periosteum tendons, about joint, especially wrist, overstrain of ocular muscles, sprain, lameness after sprains, injured, bruised bone, fractures, dislocations, hamstrings feel shortened. So that is basically Ruta is also given in spasm of hamstrings, and spasms comes from a strain in hamstrings. So Ruta is the medicine. Tendons are sore, aching pain in the tendo Achilles, tennis elbow. These are the indications. Few of the indications. Ruta, I mean, all medicine have so many indications. I am just covering in a nutshell to keep my presentation to the point. Belly spur is first remedy in injuries next to arnica for the deeper tissues after major surgical work. It acts on muscular fibers of the blood vessels and much muscular soreness, lameness as if sprain, venous congestion due to mechanical causes, and results of injury to the nerves with intense soreness and intolerance of cold bathing. And it is also indicated when sprain has been removed but the pain remains. So, lingering effects of chronic sprain, belly spur, you should never ignore. Hypericum, a great remedy for injuries to the nerve, especially fingers, toes, nails, crushed fingers, especially tips. Excessive painfulness is the guiding symptom for the use. It prevents locked jaw, punctured wounds, relieves pain after operations, quite supersedes the use of morphine after the operation, and spasm after every injury. Calcarea force. It is also especially calcarea force is indicated in the bone disease, non-union of fractures. It has special affinity where bone forms, sutures, and symphysis, and all its symptoms are worse from any change in weather, and it also helps to unite bones quickly. So along with symphytum, I prefer to give calcarea force cyclic doses when patient is under cast. So let's see in a nutshell what are the musculoskeletal affinity of different remedies. As we have already discussed all this medicine, and yes, I have not covered that, but Staphysagrina is one of the medicine uh, during, I mean, immediately post-operative sharp wound surgical incisions for cuts and abrasions. One can consider if they are sharp in nature. Rest all I have already discussed. So this is just a schematic diagram which defines action of different medicine on musculoskeletal system, especially which tissues are holding the affinity for particular medicine. If you can see, arnica is for muscles, rustox is for ligament, ruta is for cartilage, ledum is for bruising and punctures, symphytum for bones, calendula for cuts, abrasions, and bleeding, hypericum for nerves, Staphysagrina for sharp incised wounds, and bryonia for synovial bursitis and the synovial fluid effusion, and any affection of the joint space, and ruta is for tendons. So this is, now let's see how will you, in a overall manage the sports injury with homeopathy. So evaluating sports and activity injuries has changed, completely changed. The previous protocols were different. The most helpful remedy may turn out to be those that are not typically thought for the sports injuries. Like I said, and I will be throwing the light soon. If a person's underlying sensitivities may necessitate the different remedy, one that addresses the whole person, even when their chief complaint is sprain, bump, and bruises. So, constitutional medicine sometimes have a great role. Apart from giving medicine for particular affinity for the affected part, which athlete have received the injury, you have to consider holistic approach when sometimes you feel that the medicine is not working, even though it is indicated. So you have to consider the physical and mental makeup and the constitution, and you have to prescribe sometimes that way. At other times, athletes are looking for ways to get their mind in gear for fierce competition, as I just addressed earlier, for extremes of training. So if athlete and sports person is not suffering from any injury and still they need medicine, so gelsemium is one of the medicine which comes handy. It can bolster the timid athlete that reports a weak stomach, a jittery feeling, and weak knees before starting gun goes off. It can restore their calm and equilibrium. So this is the medicine which holds a very much importance when patient is having lot of butterflies in the stomach. Usually we think of argentum nitricum, but gelsemium is way sidelined, but that works very nicely, and it can ease the performance anxiety in other settings as well. It is a favorite of actors and musicians to relieve stage fright, and executives choose it to calm nerves before major business deals, sometimes even before interviews. This is used effectively. Nux vomica. It can also help athlete that is irritable, on edge, and needs to chill out before climbing onto racing block. It can also help the super competitive kid that loses a game and lambast fellow team members about how their action lead to the loss. Nux vomica helps them to become more amenable to the idea that it is not okay to yell at teammates, and shift their focus away from the loss and towards enjoyment of their sports, because Nux is always about high ambitions and high expectations from themselves, and they when they are not able to meet, and especially when it is a team game, and if you find such irritable one of the teammate, that is the ideal candidate for Nux vomica. Aurum metallicum. Now it is suited to the intense idealistic competitor that sets impossibly out of proportion high goals. From their perspective, it is their duty to win. If they are not able to, they will shatter, and they become depressed. If their team does not win, then also they are depressed. So these people, young and old, and they are very hard on themselves. So they are the candidate for Aurum Med. It can help soften the perspective on winning and losing and shift mood away from depression. This remedy is also known for its ability to heal headache that comes on after experiencing loss or failure. Natrum sulf, as I have already discussed just few slides prior, it can help athlete to become seriously depressed after sustaining head injury. Football, field hockey, or any other contact sports or team sports, it can help also help with other types of mood changes after head injuries, change in behavior, as well as troubling physical symptoms which are lingering after head injury. Natrum sulf is the leading medicine. Magnesia phos, MagPhos is one more important medicine being made from magnesium and phosphorus. It can help to alleviate cramps and muscle spasm that would be improved by heat, such as those earned after hard workout or challenging day on the golf course. Because golf is a sport where it's a sports where it begins in the morning and it ends at the night. So whole day athletes are on the sunny ground. So that is the medicine. It because whenever any sports is practiced, if not indoor and outdoor continuously, it is the favorable ground to give cramps to the athletes. So macphos can come handily. Sometimes medicine are described in materia medica very nicely, but we have to think and apply it in a broad perspective, that where you can, those fit those tertiary indications and make them understand better in forms of execution and application of the indicated medicine. Because materia has given very general guidelines, but you have to make them fit in needed box. So that is how macphos, we all know macphos is used for cramps, but we never think in this line that how it is helpful in the sports. So if some athletes are accustomed to, it's like tendencies. However they are perfect in their nutrition, however perfect they are 48 hours before their hydration, still they are bound to develop cramps. So if you give preventive start macphos just 48 hours prior, probably they will be able to surpass this issue of cramps. Cupromat, another approach of managing sudden cramps, especially those in limbs and hands and feet if the symptoms agree. Now, this is all about managing sports injuries with homeopathy. I would like to throw some light with some celebrity athletes who strived on homeopathic medicine during their dark time and while they were suffering from sports injuries. So I have some questions to ask. Maybe you might be aware, you might not be, but just try to answer. Um, she is known as a sprint queen of India. She is the athlete who have taken homeopathic medicine while she was about to prepare for her South Asian Championship of. She is the athlete from track and field. Any guesses? And legendary athlete, I must say, senior athlete. She is given a nickname of Sprint Queen of India. Yes,
PT Usha.
yes, ma'am. Very right. So PT Usha is also known as Golden Girl, and she has been under homeopathic medicine while she was having injury in her ligament, and then she won gold in Asian Championship. One more lady from Great Britain, she is Wimbledon champion, and her name is Annabel Croft. She's a former tennis pro. Now she is a television presentator, but she has given the whole nice write up regarding her belief in homeopathy. And she says, I use homeopathy for myself and my family to treat every form of early sign of cough, cold to sports injuries. And I embrace as a way of life, visit my homeopathy every few months and use whole host of remedies. And homeopathy has worked wonders for me personally, and I cannot deny its effectiveness. So these are some national, I mean, Indian and international athletes from other continent who are using homeopathy effectively, and they vouch for it. And I have one more quiz kind of thing for you all. There is one more athlete who is considered as fastest human recorded in the sports. He is the fastest man
Usain
of track
Bolt.
and. Yes, ma'am. Yes, very right,
Hmm.
Vaishali, ma'am. So
No, I'm Majaha.
he has been given homeopathic medicine while he was nurturing injury, and then he won n number of records. And 2012 was the year in London Olympic. He has set the record of 100-meter track running, 9 seconds and 58 microsecond, which is still unbroken. And 200-meter is 19 second and 19 microsecond. That too is still on his name. And it's been almost 13 years and nobody has even touched close to his records. Another football star, that is David Beckham. He is ardent fan of homeopathy, and he broke his metatarsal bone, and then he was given 6-week protocol rest, And during that time of rehabilitation, he was on homeopathic medicine. And he is great fan of arnica. He keeps himself and he keeps on taking as and when it is required. And even his wifey is also using homeopathic medicine and is said to have relied heavily during her third pregnancy to combat morning sickness, hyperemesis gravidera. So these are some interesting stories in the celebrities, sports person, international and national, those who are taking homeopathic medicine. Let's see what are the different books available for handling sports injuries in with homeopathy. So these are some of the books: homeopathy for sports, exercise and dance. Emlyn Thomas, Dr. Gopi K. sports medicine in homeopathy, and Stephen Subontix and is also there. So these are the books available for the handling and reference. Now, the special connect with you all. So here, the role of homeopathy in handling sports injury, that is one domain, is complete. Now, this is my very special connect with you all, lady doctors of iconic women's of India, homeopaths. So, importance of sports in women's life. Now, why women should practice sport? Because sport is a gateway of fitness, and any particular woman will undergo, by and large, three phases of life, that is adolescence, reproductive phase, and menopause. We can say menopause, but post menopause life completely changed. That's why I have written post menopause. So these all, I mean, till you turn 40, life is nice, smooth, and eventually there should not be major problems during adolescence and reproductive, by and large, I'm saying about. But all problems and suffering starts somewhat after 40. So if you don't want to suffer when you approach 40, what you should do that will make you ready to embrace post reproductive phase of life, that is menopause. So menopause is pre actual phase of menopause and post menopause. So you have to understand, even though you are not in pre menopause, what are the changes which is going to take place or are actually happening, those who are in that window of pre menopause or during menopause. So first thing is, as we all know, once the reproductive phase of life gets over, estrogen will start getting depleted because ovaries will not secrete sufficient amount of estrogen. Now, estrogen is very essential hormone for the body. When it is depleted, body will try to um, make negative compensatory feedback mechanism, and it will try to produce from somewhere. So fat is one of the source from where, other than ovary, estrogen can be procured and produced. So what will happen? We all have observed that adipose tissue will increase in order to compensate that deficit of estrogen which is happening after the, I mean, in perimenopause it starts. So we all must have observed that while you were 30, if you have put on weight and if you start little dieting or you get active, you will be able to lose at least 3-4 kilograms of weight per month. But eventually, if you are 40 plus and if you start realizing that, oh, I think putting on the weight, so those 3-4 kilograms which you were shedding off in just 4 weeks is no more the truth. After 40, you eventually lose 2 kilogram and you go in one invitation, wedding or party, and that is reimbursed again. So you are where you were. So you will have to be constantly ready, that because this is going to happen, because there is a depletion of estrogen, the body itself is growing more and more adipose tissue deposits. So however you try, at one particular point adipose tissue are going to generate. So how stringent you will have to be if you want to go healthy during your menopause, because that is the gateway, I would say, that defines you while what you were in adolescence and reproductive age, and after that, that is, I think, 50% of the life, because 30, 35, 38 max, till the time the half of the life is gone. If we see the balance of life, 80 years, nobody now, I mean, very few lives till 80 or 100 is gone now. So if we consider 80, and if you are approaching 40, then you are only halfway over. So if you want to make your other half better, then you will have to engage yourself in some of the fitness activity, because once you realize that you have achieved everything in life, you got married, your career is settled, your practice is nicely settled, you have lots of achievement, your kids are settled. By the time you might have make them they are married, everything, and by the time now you are free, but now you want to do something, but you don't have that much of capacity, and by the time you realize, it is too late. So my message to those who are in young age group, maybe 20, 25, 30, start doing some physical activity, and those who are already in 40s and beyond 40, please start embracing some physical activity, wherever at whatever phase of life you are, maybe 45, 50, 55, still it is not late, in order to make your next decade of life better. So what other changes happens in menopause and pre-menopause? That is, bone mineral density will reduce because of calcium resorption. There will be sarcopenia, so that is reduction in overall muscle mass, and this all changes happens in women only, while male will only have little less of testosterone, but that is not going to affect them. Well, all these major changes which is happening in women body is going to affect women substantially. And added on, if these are not taken care of, eventually you will have everything but no health. You are flourishing in your practice, but somehow, because see, we all are working professionals, we are working from morning till evening, and by doing everything, somewhere you are not able to focus on yourself for at least 30, 40, or maybe 1 hour. That is the luxury, and probably somewhere we are lacking that luxury of time, and you will have to be that rich that you will have to spare that 1 hour of day for yourself, that is for your health, for the next 1 or 2 or 3 decades of your life, which should be not dependent on anyone, and should be completely in healthy state of life without inviting major metabolic disorders like obesity, diabetes mellitus, hypertension, dyslipidemia, or maybe some gastrointestinal issues. So that is why it is very important, the importance of sports in women's life. Now, I'm not saying fitness and why sports, because see, sports will give you some goal. If you make a target to do something, you will not be able to pursue it longer time. Like if somebody asks you, okay, go back to a final year curriculum and read it again, probably you will not complete the whole curriculum in reading. Why? Because you don't have exams, no? If the student is having exam, they will read, because they know that at the end of 1.5 year I am supposed to appear in exams. So because they have one one target that they have to perform in exam, so that's why they will read. So when you make a goal, and that is, to achieve something, then only discipline will come. Motivation will last only for few weeks. Once you will get demotivated, only discipline will make you going. And for that discipline, you will have to make some goal that I want to pick up your choice, pick up your sport. Because any fitness activity, if you don't want to practice sport, pick up any goal in the gym, that you want to do clean push-ups, you want to walk every 3 times in a week for 40 minutes. It can be yoga, make a goal, you achieve something, you make one goal that okay, in yoga I want to reach here, in walking I want to reach here. So that will be, a part of your life, and it will be connected portion, so you will never be off that routine. So it is very important. And now how will you connect with that? That is emotional connect. You will have to make some emotional connect, so that will prevent off the track, which happens in every women's. Something comes and they are not seen for days together. This happens with me also, but I try to be, you will also have to develop a habit to bounce back, which is always there with any woman. That is the basic attribute of being women, but somehow we are not able to apply it in all boxes of life. So spare some time, and I just want to make certain concept clear regarding in this line further. So, what is health and what is fitness? So, they are completely different things, definitely interconnected and interlinked. But health is something which refers to physical and emotional and social well being, especially associated with normal functioning of the human body in absence of disease, in absence of pain, maybe emotional domain, that is mental pain, or any injury, that is health, where your all physiological parameters are normal and you don't have any problem. So that is definition of health. Now, what is fitness? Fitness is ability to perform daily activities with optimal performance, endurance, strength, and it often require proper nutrition, regular exercise, and sufficient rest. So fitness is something which is little higher than health. If person is healthy, it is not necessary that the same person will be fit. But definitely the person who is fit is bound to be healthy. So it is very important. Don't be healthy, I would say. Be fit. At least have some, as I said earlier, connect with something. Make your goal. Not necessary that you want to run, not necessary that you want to swim, not necessary that you want to go in boxing, but at least simple start. Go for the walk, make it connect, and start your activity so that it will give you good life. While health is a broad state of being fit, being fitness is the capacity to engage in complete physical task efficiently, contributing significantly to overall health. So what you need to do to become fit? So how to maintain health? First, let me tell you, see, you might not be having any trouble right now. Some people say, some women say, oh, I'm fine, I don't have any problem, and I'm thin, and I don't think I need to do exercise. And that is not true. Those who are thin may not be healthy, and those who are healthy, I mean healthy in the sense they are having a nearly high optimal body mass index, that they are having good body weight, they are looking little chubby, but they might be healthy and fit. So that is completely, laymen say that I don't need exercise because I am thin. So that is not the concept. So how to maintain health is achieving and maintaining health is ongoing process. It's a lifelong process shaped by both evolution of healthcare knowledge and practice, as well as personal strategies and organized interventions for staying healthy. So diet is of course one of the pillar of being healthy. An important way to maintain one's personal health to have healthy diet. Healthy diet includes variety of plant-based, animal-based food that provides nutrients to the body. And we all know what is the role of diet: macronutrients and micronutrients. And we also know the food pyramid, which defines different categories. As a doctor, we all know, so I'm not going in this detail, but definitely I would like to address what are the elements of fitness which you should, if you are little inspired from today's presentation, start practicing the any of pick up any of this element, so that you will be tracking your fitness activity. So there are 7 elements of fitness, meaning to say, if you are good in strength, if you are good in endurance, if you are having good flexibility, if you're having good explosive power, if you are having good balancing skills, good sprint power, good agility, this defines that you are fit. Now, it is, as I said, it's a lifelong process. It will take time, but start with something so that one by one you can hit the criterias and become fit. So what is strength? What are the benefits of improving muscular strength? Why? Because I said that post menopause, sarcopenia will become very rapid. We lose our muscle, and as in women are never masculine, but we are not going to look masculine, but it is very important to do strength training to preserve your muscle, because we are as in not using our muscles, and hormones are producing havoc in the body of woman after 40. So you will rapidly lose muscles if you are not doing strength training. So why you should do strength training? It will reduce the risk of falling, it will make everyday activity easier, it will improve athletic performance. It goals can be anything, but everyone is prescribed to do strength training. Long term calorie burning improves bone strength, it reduces musculoskeletal pain. Many women complains that okay, there is no pathology in the spine anywhere, but they say I have a back pain because they never train their back. If you train your back muscles, you will probably never have low back pain. Reduces the risk of muscle injuries. So these are the benefits of it. Improves the posture. There are, because see, we all have somewhat occupational hazards. We sit on our consultation cabin in the clinic, we are constantly sitting, so our hip flexors are very tight, our psoas is very tight, so somehow our postures are compromised. Some might get hunched shoulders, bent shoulders, rounded shoulders, because we keep on writing prescription, we see patients, but we never remember that you have to get up and take one round. Sometimes if you are not dispensing your medicine on your own, start doing that at least for few patients, so that you will have activity, because sitting is considered as a new smoking. Okay, so it is very important to be mobile. ऐसा भी नहीं कि आपने you have worked out for 1 hour or 2 hour in the morning, and then whole 4 5 hours you have not get up from your chair, which is very big no. So it is very important to do strength training. So this is me doing strength to maintain my coins. So it is considered that strength is a coin. If you don't have currency or coins, you will not be able to buy anything. So you have to earn your coins to spend your coins. So because I have certain athletes goals, so I have to earn my coins, and that I spend those coin heftily in my sports. So I have to keep on earning, and it's like, you know, you can't have a good balance. You have to earn it every day. Like you have to drink water every day, you have to breathe every day. You can't eat 5 days food in a one day. Similarly, fitness is something which you have to give yourself on everyday basis, and strength is the prominent part of one of the element of fitness. Next domain of fitness is endurance. So, endurance sports means what? It is considered as their emphasis on stamina, endurance, and ability to sustain physical effort over prolonged period of time. Somebody say, "Oh, I can walk 2 kilometers," but what if you walk 7 kilometers? Are you tired? That means your endurance is. You need to build your endurance, and that can be built over the days of practice. Ability to sustain physical efforts for prolonged period of time. These sports require not only physical strength but cardiovascular fitness and also mental fortitude and resilience. Now, what are the example of endurance sports? Cycling, swimming, running, triathlon. These are examples of, there are many other examples, but why I'm giving specific these sports, because these are the sports which are very popular in the people who are more than 25 years of the age group. The reason is because uh, each different sport has a different retirement of the age. Like a swimmer will retire early. I'm talking about youth age group. A cricketer will retire in 30 35 years of the age group. But if you see cyclist, they do cycling even at the age of 40 50 55. Triathlete, you will always find 40 plus, generally speaking. So endurance is the forte which is well developed once you cross certain age, and that is 25 years of the lifespan. So after 25 years, if you are engaging yourself in the endurance sports, you will be able to enhance that in a much better way, while speed sports are more better when you are in young age group, say for example 12 years to 20, 22 years. So endurance sports is something which is easy to build on. And even if you are not into fitness in your childhood or school days or college days, and now if you are deciding at the age of 35, 40, 45, and if you want to do some fitness activity which is related with the sports, it is very easy to take entry into endurance sports. So that, now what are the benefits of endurance sports? It will also enhance your cardiovascular fitness. Like if somebody is, lifting good weights, but if they are asked to run 400-meter, they will not be able to, they will go breathless. Why? Because their lungs are not that much conditioned and powerful. Their heart is not accustomed to sustain that high uh, heart rate. So that's the reason they immediately go breathless. So once you crack that, okay, now you can run 400-meter, you should aim for 800-meter, you should aim for 1 kilometer. Once you achieve that, you can run continuously for 1 kilometer, maybe 2 kilometer, 5 kilometers should be your goal. And if you can run 5 kilometers, you can sign up for one event, and that will give you sense of growth and achievement, because now you can run. That means your heart is strong, your lungs are powerful, that you can run non-stop. So every planning starts with a single step, and that is how endurance sports are very much important for the 25 plus age group woman. It can be swimming, cycling, running, walking, even jogging. These are the good activity to start with. Now, what are the benefit? As I have always said, that it can be imbibed as a lifestyle, and which brings numerous benefit and overall well-being. It's not just seeking to improve your fitness level. Endurance sports is always about pushing your limits. You will know that what is your limit, and if once you know your limit, you can always break your limit by expanding it further. So endurance sports can improve a platform for personal growth, and I think achievement is something which is a byproduct. Once you are thoroughly engaged in doing endurance sports. This is me somewhere in 2020, before lockdown came. This was my 600-kilometer cycling ride, which started from Ahmedabad, and we took U-turn from Rajasthan, 300 kilometer in a linear pattern. The cutoff time was 40 hours, and I took U-turn from that. It's an international event, and I finished in 27 hours and 25 minutes. Why I'm showing this? Because this needs. It's not that I might not be that strong to do 600 kilometers. Nobody will be, and that is why I say it's a mental resilience. So that is more important, because after one level your musculoskeletal system will answer, and then it becomes mind game, and then your mind will take over you. So you have to make sure that mind should not throw tantrum that, okay, oh, I am tired now, I will not be able to do. You have to run your mind. Your mind should not drive you. So that is why I said it is very important. And we as a women, we are the we all are the by birth and by attributes powerhouse of strength. So if I can do, anybody can do, and you must make some connect with the sports and fitness. So flexibility is another most important element of the fitness. If somebody can lift but can't run, that is not fitness. They should be able to run, they should be able to do some endurance game. And at the same time, if you are not able to touch your toes while bending in dandasan straight without bending your knee, if you can't hold your toes, that means it's a question mark on your flexibility. Simple, I mean, I am giving some targets. So you should be flexible enough. It's a ability of muscles, joints, and tissue to move through unrestricted, pain-free range of motions. It involves the ability of these structures to stretch, extend, and contract without restrictions, allowing for optimal movement. So if you are not flexible, then you are probably lacking one of the important domain of fitness. And without flexibility, injury will immediately lurk in. So it is very important to be flexible. So you have to strengthen your muscles. With strengthen, it is said that muscle gets stiff. So you have to make sure that you have to keep on stretching your muscles so that they remain in a normal state. What are the benefits of flexibility? Improves range of motion, reduce risk of injuries, alignment of collagen fibers. So this will help to heal the fibers. Healing phase of injury will also be assisted, and relief of some chronic musculoskeletal pain that will be reduced with stretch based program. So you can have target of yoga, and in yoga you can achieve certain asanas. So that is also, at least it is important to start with something, maybe if not walking, if not running, if not jogging, if not cycling, if not swimming, go for yoga. Your yoga, you will be able to. And the best part is, it is not that you have to do everything. Sometimes in one particular discipline you can explore all 7 elements of fitness. So the next one is explosive power. So what is explosive power? It is also known as, explosive strength. It is the ability to produce maximum amount of force in minimum amount of time, combining both high force and high velocity, that is strength, and speed to accelerate a movement. It is the capacity to overcome resistance rapidly and is crucial for quick, powerful movement in sports like jumping, throwing, sprinting. Now, you must have seen athletes who are running on track. When the gun is shot, they explode, like they run immediately. So the first few steps are considered as explosive powers, which is very it helps athlete in sprinting. So even in, you must have seen swimmers who are given, as take your mark, and then one whistle buzz, and all will die from the block. So this is not possible without explosion, and such explosion will produce high power, and that will keep them going powerfully. You can see the uh, what is the rate of explosion once the surface is broken and the athlete swimmer enters into the water. You can see the effect of water underwater. Another example of explosion is toes to the bar. Simply by just hanging, you can't take your toes to the bar. That too is an example of explosive power. So these all are the, it comes in percentage, but you will have to cultivate all the domains. Balance is one another important element of fitness. What is balance? Physical activity designed to improve body's ability to maintain its center of gravity, enhancing stability and preventing falls by strengthening core and leg muscles, and improving body's awareness and coordination. It helps in improving body awareness and coordination. Common example includes standing on one leg, walking heel to toe, performing sit to stand movement. You must have engaged yourself in yoga and must be doing many balancing activity. But it's high time that you start doing this activity on a regular basis in a consistent way, and that will give you results. So balancing act not necessarily needs to be of extremes. You can always start with the basics, and then you can make a goal which should be higher, and you will be able to definitely reach by paving the pathway of consistency and discipline. The another important aspect of fitness is sprint power. Sprint means ability to produce high level of force and velocity, which is developed through combination of movement, and component includes ground reaction force, power transfer, anaerobic energy system, all which can be systematically trained. And it requires lots of neuromuscular coordination and it also enhances neuromuscular coordination and fast. We have slow twitch muscles and fast twitch muscles in the muscle fiber. So fast twitch muscles are highly responsible for the activation of sprint power. You can see I already discussed this earlier, but just showing this one more time how the sprint begins. This is my sprint in 10 kilometers. Usually sprints are either at the beginning or at the end of the, I mean, when you are finishing this is somewhere in this year January. I was running 10 kilometers. This is the sprint which was last 100-meter of 10 kilometer. I was, so that is how you say a strong finish. And this is a cycling sprint in the racing which I was doing. So this is the posture. Now, if you don't earn your coins of strength and flexibility, probably I will be the house of injuries if I don't keep with the maintenance. That is practicing all the 7 elements of fitness. So when you do all these things, I mean, someday you will have result is growth, and victory is byproduct. This is Khelo India Women's Cycling League. The girl who is standing on my either side are half of my age. One is hardly 20, another is 21. I am 42 at that time. This is 2 years back. Uh, this is my national championship swimming. This was in Lucknow, Dr. Rachna. I came in Lucknow in 2019 to play this. And the only thing is victory, but I believe victory is byproduct. You have to be consistently doing your work on fitness, and finish line will always give you happiness, and that matters the most. Sense of achievement is always there. I think for a woman it is more of a sense of achievement that they are, doing it against all constraints, and that gives you happiness, I think. And that matters the most, that after this many, I mean, every woman have a story to tell if they start counting their struggles. I mean, these are not struggles, but there are some constraints. When we get up in the morning and we hit the bed at night, when you retire to bed, you say you are done for the day, but there are so many things you are doing, and somewhere you are compromising on yourself. So don't compromise on yourself and start doing something. This is me in Kolhapur in 2023 when I did my half Ironman victory. This is half Ironman, means it's a form of triathlon, and triathlons are of different distances. So this particular triathlon distance is known as half Ironman, which is world's toughest race. Second toughest, toughest is full Ironman, and half Ironman is second toughest. So it has 1.9 kilometer of swim, open water, lake swimming. That is followed by 90 kilometers of bike, where I had a elevation of Deccan range. And then that is followed by half marathon. And the distance of half marathon is 21.1 kilometer run. So when you do all these 3 activity one by one without stopping, that completes your race. So this I did in exactly 2 years back in September 2023 in Kolhapur, which is considered as one of the toughest event of the India. And thank you everyone for giving attention and listening me patiently. Thank you. So
Thank you.
shall we take the questions?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Kinjal.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm Dr. Vipat Majarav. So,
Yes,
seminar was really good, really good.
thank
And
you.
I can say that it is one of the best in iconic platforms so far. And
Thank you, ma'am.
one of the best sessions in the sense of presentation, in the sense of fluency, in the sense of adding homeopathy, and in the sense of giving old insights and also new inputs also. There's a few new inputs are also there. So that's good. That's a good presentation, Dr. Kinjal. Thank you.
Thank you,
So what I want to ask is, so did you have did you ever use it for sports injuries, arnica as a spray or any other local the applications these days we are having arnica spray, arnica creams, like diclofenac is there, but we are having four or five remedies mixed it in one ointment and one gel, and that we are generally using for the sports injuries. Okay, so have any time used it like that in place of any
so ma'am, if
allopathic
I yes, ma'am. So if I talk personally as an athlete, my sports, I have never used local applications. I tell you why, because I'm into endurance sports, and such requirement happens in team sports and contact sports like volleyball, football, cricket, where athlete will suddenly collapse. While what I am practicing is endurance sports, so we basically don't have that type of
not
sudden pains
yeah
and
I
but
got that.
yes,
I'm asking whether you have any time prescribed or
yes,
any time
I
seen
have
the
prescribed gels and spray and given to the athletes. But again, results are not that confirmatory because see, on ground injury results are never concluding that we can say, okay, this athlete has been uh, better with only spray, because immediately they give ice application as well. Their physios are always there on the ground. They give stretching, they give ice, and always added on they give spray. That is homeopathy. If we have given, and if patient is ready to take, they will also take the local spray and ointment application. But yes, systemic administration always works. Even myself, I have taken arnica n number of times. Even after my strength training, I have soreness of muscles, I take arnica, and in 2 3 doses
or
I feel better.
anytime you have given these our remedies in the ground, like for an acute management, like arnica or belly spur or any, of course, calendula we can use in open wounds. So anytime other remedies, have you every time used this apart from the English medicine, that diclofenac or anything like that?
Yes, ma'am. I share my own experience. It was 2020 when I was in. See, endurance sports also comes sometimes with pain. I was pursuing 400-kilometer BRM cycling, and at U-turn point we had a rest of 2 hours of sleep. And when I got up from the sleep, my room was on the first floor, and I was descending, and I realized I am having lurking gait. I immediately realized that I have a pain in my lateral compartment of the knee, and I was carrying arnica and rustox both. And I was wondering, now I think I will not be able to continue the distance 200 kilometer to return back. So I thought, what to do now? So because that particular cycling distance is, you are allowed to carry your own belongings, whatever are basically required. So I tell you, I was carrying rustox, I was carrying arnica, because what happens, rustox modality is so much supportive that whatever pain, if are degenerative or muscular imbalances which comes after overtaxing of the muscles, and by rest it came. In my case, I rested for 2 hours and then pain came. It was not before. But but because of overstraining of the muscle, it came after rest, and immediately when I was getting descending from the stairs, it I realized. And by the time I reached on the ground floor, I thought I won't be able to continue, and I started taking rustox in water. And within 40 minutes my lateral compartment started getting better. And I was carrying arnica local topical application. I applied it because spray was not possible at that time. I was already having little burning, so I applied arnica and I took rustox because my pain was relieved when I started, and resumed little light movement. Still my mind was haywire, because when you are at half point, U-turn point, and you think, how will you continue? So because me being homeopathic physician, I understand the uh, effects and action of medicine and modalities I took. But sometimes when it comes to giving to the patient, it becomes really, you know, observation based. They might get convinced, they may not get convinced. You give them, but that really depends. But yes, I have seen results in my friends who are athlete, and they eventually my patients. I have successfully made them pain free in endurance sports when it comes to pain during activity, a long activity, arnica and rustox both.
So have you any time managed any acute condition of injury at your clinic with our medicines?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. The reason I tell you is because still with this much of awareness, we are not probably at the level that injured athlete who is acutely injured on ground will reach out to homeopathy clinic. So honestly, I have never encountered patient who are acutely injured on ground and they will consult homeopathic physician. But yes, like for stress fracture, as I told you while describing symphytum and calcarea force, so runners are having a lot of stress fractures, Sheen's fractures and stress fractures and all. So in that, symphytum and calcarea force has worked promisingly.
Yeah, that's there. And so, what you do you think? So, you would recommend some homeopathic medicines also to be given, to be kept with the physiotherapist or any other person right away who are working in the ground for the right
Absolutely.
sure
So we need.
assistance, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm.
So we need to give. I think we can prepare first aid kit, which is homeopathic first aid kit, which should be there in the armamentarium of every on-ground physiotherapist, and they should be first of all ardent admirer of homeopathy. And if such channel is created, probably homeopathic medicine can make wonders on the ground as well. And then if
Yes, yes, because physiotherapists generally they have an idea of muscle injury or
yes,
it's a sprain or is a bone or is a periosteum. So they generally have an idea better than an orthopedician.
and they
So
are
they
the.
we
Yes, ma'am. They
hmm.
are the first responders on the ground, always.
Yes, yes.
Other than
So we
orthopedics.
need to, yeah, we need to train some physiotherapists also, and we can give some handy local sprays or anything. There they can get much better understanding with the homeopathy, even with if not with pills, like something like that. We need to
Very
work out on that, right? Mm.
definitely. We can
And
work on that.
yeah. One more question is so you have already finished half Ironman, so I deeply congratulate on that.
Thank you,
And
ma'am. Thank you so much.
do you ever know that you have any other doctor from other homeopath from Hyderabad who recently finished Ironman 3 times,
I know one in
complete
Hyderabad.
Ironman?
Oh, wonderful. No, Hyderabad, I am not aware, ma'am. Please make me aware. कौन है?
Dr. Pilli Srikanth, Dr.
Oh,
Srikanth, Dr. P.
wonderful.
Srikanth. So he's the man, he's the person, doctor, who always makes us deeply in our group, in our homeopathic group, he always makes us aware that we need to be fit and we need to be doing everything. And he finished, starting 3 years back, he finished half Ironman. And recently he finished Ironman 2 times. And the other one recently happened at Turkey or something, right?
Estonia.
So 6 months.
Estonia. It was in
Also,
Tallinn.
yes,
Tallinn. Which
yes, yes.
3 days back. Last Sunday it was in Tallinn. Full and
No,
70
not
kilometers.
a few days back. It's I think it's in 6 months back, I suppose, because
Okay.
few days back I did not consider him. So that
Okay.
also he won. He won that one. So
Okay.
every time he will be, and her
Amazing.
and his wife is our iconic member also,
Okay.
Doctor. I don't remember her name actually. So she will be
Uh,
little busy, but she is following our lectures. Maybe she is following this lecture also in recording our this one. So she
okay.
may be hearing my dialogue also about Dr. Srikanth.
Maybe. Maybe. So I
Dr.
know one
Srikanth is really
doctor.
very good. Hmm.
based in Maharashtra, who is triathlete, and I think he has also done 70 point. I forgot the name. And there is one
Mhm.
more lady doctor who is also connected in Iconic Women Homeopath. I think her son is pursuing triathlon competitive level. So I think
Mhm.
maybe 3 months back I had few conversations, messages with her. That nice
Mm.
to know that you yourself is pursuing, and her son is in triathlon. So very few, and I think
So
little.
three or four homeopaths all over the India, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
That's for sure, right?
But I'm
Okay, okay.
yes, ma'am. I might not be knowing everyone in detail. I mean, where and who are in homeopathy, and they are eventually triathlete. But it is always nice to know about
Yeah, you
fellow
make a group of
homeopath.
homeopaths being triathletes.
That's a
That
good
will be good.
suggestion, ma'am. We
Yes,
will.
yes. You search for them. I can give Dr. Shrikant's reference for you. And I think he is already having a homeopaths group of triathletes. So who are going for Ironman training and everything. So you can
Wonderful.
have better discussions with him. Okay.
Looking forward
Mhm.
to connect, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Kinjal. Huh? Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay. Yes. Better.
Yes. Yes, I have a question here, ma'am. What potency of medicines do you use?
So I
Can you speak about it?
usually, yes. So if mental plane symptoms are there, I prefer high doses. I start with 200 if it is indication of gelsemium or natrum sulf. And for muscular sprain and strain, I usually start with 30. And also acutes, I go with the water potency.
Uh, Good evening, doctor. It was such
Good
a
evening.
wonderful, amazing, actually presentation. I'm Dr. Rekha from Chennai.
Thank you, ma'am.
Really inspiring. Now I'm starting to having thoughts of okay, I have to do something. I'm reaching almost 50 now, so we have to whatever you are telling. See, it hit me hard actually. Yeah, very very inspiring, doctor, and it's amazing to know you have achieved so many things. And yeah, maybe I have to do at least basics now. And I have been treating many sports person and all. One boy had fall, and his meniscal tear was 100%, and he was advised surgery. So when the doctor told surgery, I told okay, definitely I'm not going for surgery for this boy. And it was total 100%, it's amazing that homeopathy has never let down in, especially in sports injuries, maybe because
Absolutely.
of yeah, sports injuries. It has never let down homeopathy. Homeopathy has been every time it has helped. Maybe because the person's health is very optimal. Maybe that is also one reason. And also, um, even one girl who was a table tennis player. No, yeah, table tennis player, and she went on to Assam and achieved her dreams after she was given treatment for her asthma. Because you can understand, no? So in that way, it has been very helpful for sports person especially. Thank you for the amazing listing. And how about strontia carb and other remedies? Have you do you think they are actually chronic in nature? Yeah,
Okay.
strontia.
Actually, if I talk about very peculiar medicine, I might not have used or used sparingly, so
Mm.
that I am not even able to recall that I have given, but I might have somewhere hit it to prescribe, but not that frequently. Strontium carb is there, but not given that frequently.
Yes, yes, I understand.
But nice
Yes,
to know, ma'am, that my webinar inspired you, and probably that is the connect. I am here to address each and every woman who is present here, that please invest time in yourself, and please do some physical activity. Because if I talk about myself, I started doing this physical activity seriously once I completed, or I was in internship, that was in 2005. Till the time I was not serious, though I was in school days volleyball player. I was a state champion, but that is school days. Then after 12th, and then 4 years, 4.5 years of college in BHMS, I was also just studying. And I tell my each and every student, one of my student is present in the presentation right now, I tell that please start doing some activity in your young age, so that it becomes easy to continue when you are older. And I started competitive sports at the age of 32, 10 years, 12 years back. When athletes plan to retire, I started doing competitive workouts and activities. So there is no age is just a number. You can start at any age, and it is going to be beneficial only. So just make a goal and show up on the road, or I mean anywhere, whichever may be your arena to practice fitness.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, Dr.
For the
Kinjan.
muscles,
Dr. Srikanth already made us to walk or everything like that, and I lose weight inspired by taking his inspiration only, because I started walking or something, doing something,
Wow,
this or
nice to
that.
know.
And again, and again, I take your inspiration today, and I again be on my fitness goals now. So I keep a goal of 1 year, and you let me know after 1 year,
Sure.
and I'll tell you how this webinar has turned me. Okay, thank you. And
Yes,
regarding
ma'am.
this
We have
injuries,
witnesses today, 31st
hmm,
August.
yeah, 31st August, right. Today we had a seminar in Hyderabad also with Dr. Ashok Borkar, giving a list of injury remedies, rheumatoid arthritis and everything. But of course I
Wonderful.
missed that one due to our
Okay.
Ganesh Puja in at our home, at our flats. So I have also already treated a case, a chronic case of ligament tear in cricket. So cricket is also a very good this one. So injuries of cricket also will come at later ages, not in while they are playing
Yes.
or something. So
Yes. They are
ligament
always
tear with
chronic in
Calicar,
nature. Yes.
chronic in nature. So left knee ligament tear in a doctor pediatrician. So in that with Calicarb I have treated well with one or two or maximum 3 doses of Calicarb has changed his life for anything like that, because he is a constitutionally Calicarb patient, and he gave me
Yes.
a
Yes.
letter
So there is
many
a lot of
references.
role. Yes.
Yeah, and few acute
And
sports injuries also I have treated at my clinic, but not at the readily on the first day. Maybe the second day. Second day is also like first day for us for homeopaths, right? So maybe on the
yes, yes,
second day,
absolutely right.
uh, yes, second day, third day, that injuries also I have taken. So mostly arnica, bellis, and wristocks is not handy, because wristocks is only like the deep only the for the muscular pains generally we give, generally body pains or something like that,
So
but
I
arnica
just
and
want to
bellies.
share my little
Mm,
experience here. Rustox
mm,
always works. I mean, this is my clinical finding, that
mm,
degenerative pains and injury, which if senior athletes are pursuing some sports and they say that when I wake up, I have pain, and then when I start my activity and training,
workouts. Mm,
after 10-15
mm,
minutes, it will go off. So that is classical modality of Rustox, and
yes,
such patient will respond,
yes.
because that is sign of degenerative changes in the muscle fibers, and that is
Mm.
degenerative injury, and their Rustox will definitely work.
Yes, Rustrox will work, but its action is very temporary, like that. That is what I have seen. And I will generally give associated remedies with Rustrox also. And arnica, bellies, natrum sulf in that sense. That also
Yes,
will help for natrum sulf concussion, not only in the head, for the runners, for the ankle joint. When that
yes,
ankle is coming very heavy, when the foot is hitting very hard on the ground and the sole is not good. So
yes,
then that little bit of concussion injury will be happening in the ankle joints, no? So
Yes.
there natrum sulf will definitely help. If the patient is little obese and salt craving, something like that, natrum sulf will be definitely helping like that. So
Okay.
sports injuries and general injuries are very good with homeopathy. So I think this webinar is very helpful for all the other people who are coming today and also who will be watching the recording tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for the kind words. It means a lot.
I will just take a minute, Dr. Kinjal, to congratulate you and thank you for this wonderful webinar that we had on sports medicine. Our perspective you have widened a lot, and the good part was that you have also talked about the emotional and the mental aspect of the sports person who are suffering with the anxiety and depression and other things. So that was also very good. And the quiz part was also very nice. So thanks a lot for doing this. Yeah.
It's
Thank you.
reciprocal, Dr. Rachna. I am thankful to you. My special thanks to you for pushing me because it's very difficult for me to manage timings because I do sports, no. So my morning hours are always occupied, and then I go to college, and then I rush to clinic, and then I am supposed to sleep at certain hours so that I can wake up at 5 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. in the morning, depending on the activity. But it was you, Dr. Rachna, who pushed me कि मैम आप करो, आप दो एक presentation तो दो.
But
So
credit is all yours, and you should be doing this more often now. So yes.
I will try to, but very difficult. The reason I tell you, my timings are really clocked. The
No, but
morning 5 to
you
7.
should do this very often now because Padmaja ma'am has said that this has been the best webinar up till now, and it has been inspiring. Rekha ma'am has said so. Thank you again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Grateful to
Yes,
everyone.
thank you very much, ma'am. It was a wonderful session, and it certainly inspires all the homeopaths who are attending and who would be listening to the recording to take care of their physical health, especially after 40. Thank you, audience, for being there with us. Good night. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye bye. Thank you, ma'am.